Hi. Hello. Hello. Long time no see. Long time no see. Hi, it's me, Candice. I don't even know where to begin. It's been, insert Titanic meme here. It's been 84 years. Am I wrong? No, not really. Hi, it's me, Candice. Thank you for joining me for another episode of What the Smut Bug Reveals. Spirit Fingers. Hi, I've missed you. Have you missed me? Do you remember who I am? Do you remember this face? This slightly older, slightly fatter face? It's still me. The camera angle is just higher to hide my chins. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. In today's video, what we are going to talk about is something very important. To me, yes. To you, probably not. But to me, and since this is my channel still, even though I don't post content here anymore ever, I can still do what I want because I'm the boss, okay? I'm the boss. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a new book. I know, before you get your hopes up. Let me go ahead and warn you that it's my book. One of the multitude of reasons why I have not been here to do book reviews is because I've been writing. It's been a struggle. Not because I don't like it, but just because of life, right? Just life circumstances, health issues, like just working, etc., etc., etc. Name all the things, right? So I have spent the last 9 months. What month are we in? September? I've spent the last 9 months, roughly, maybe 8 months, writing and publishing a second book. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Don't worry, before I go any further, I will say that I have 2 more reviews coming up for books that are not my own that will be coming soon. For this one, though, we're going to be talking about me because I'm narcissistic. No, I'm not. No, I'm not, but a little bit. Today I am. Okay. In today's video, we are going to be talking about this book. This is The Fence and the Musician by moi. This is book 2 in the Thick as Thieves series. This is a follow-up book to my first novel, which was published last year, The Thief and the Painter. I have a hair on my lip. The fuck. Okay. This book tracks 2 of the side characters that showed up in the first book, Deacon and Siren. And today we're going to talk about it because this one hurt me. The first one hurt me, but this one took a lot out of me. They was testing my patience, okay? First and foremost, let's give the deets to the book, right? This book, as well as the first one, are free to read with Kindle Unlimited. For the foreseeable future, this entire series will be free to read with KU. If you want to purchase this book for your Kindle, you can get it for the price of $4.99. I don't know why I said that with a question mark. Like, I'm not the one that set the price. $4.99? I think you guys can just like attribute that to my trash brain and me possibly not even remembering how much I charge. Would you be surprised if that was the case? No, you wouldn't. So I believe it's $4.99. I wanted to say $3.99, but I don't think that's right. I think it's $4.99. If you want this lovely paperback that I'm holding in my hands, you can currently get it for the price of $17.99. If you want this book in hardcover, you can get it for $22.99. Unfortunately, even though you guys know I am a massive audiobook girly, this book is not available in audio. Apparently it costs a lot of money to make an audiobook. More than I thought possible. Unless you get like a production company that like pays for all that jazz and then they have the rights for however long and whatever. There's no audio. If you want to read this book, if you want to read the first one in the series, you're going to have to read it with your eyeballs, not your ear holes. Now, this book, the paperback edition, currently has 471 pages. Is that slightly more than the first book? Yes. I think I went over the length of the first book word count wise by about 10,000 words. So whatever that equates to in pages, I don't know. However many is that many. Now, I will read you guys the blurb and then I will give you a little overview, right? Before we do that though, I do want to take a second to shout out the interior formatting in this book, which is stunning. I mean, I did it myself, but it's still stunning. So, if you have noticed, the first book had magnolias on the front. Each book in this series will have a flower that is not predominantly Southern, but can readily be found in the South and are a lot of times associated with Southern regions of the United States. And so I wanted to incorporate one flower into each cover of this series. And the first one obviously was magnolias. They're on the front cover of the book. This one has hydrangeas, which you can see on the front and the back. And the interior formatting matches the cover flower. So in the first book, the interior formatting was done almost identical to this, same coloring or close thereabouts, but it had the double chapter heading pages with magnolias. This one has hydrangeas. When we get into book 3, which I'll talk about at the end of this review, there is a little sneak peek at the end, just like in book 1, where you get the sneak peek prologue to the next book. And the flower for that book will be dogwoods. Now, I will read you guys the blurb and then we'll break it down. Let me see. Okay. So like I said, the two main characters for this book are Deacon and Siren. Both characters can be found in the first book, making like little side cameos. Deacon was Merrick's best friend and Siren was Amelia's best friend. And they are paired up in this book. So this one, I will warn you, is significantly darker than the first one. A lot of people read the first book and they said, okay, this is dark. Listen, people will always fight. I will always fight. People will always fight about what is considered dark romance and what is not considered dark romance. It is up to you what you consider dark romance. It's your opinion. If you think it's dark romance, if you consider it dark, it's dark to you. That's all that matters. Okay? For me, I write dark romance. I don't write shock value romance. I don't write horror romance, which I believe are completely different things. I write dark romance. And to me, dark romance is any book that has extremely triggering scenarios. So, for example, in the first book, there was a sexual assault scene. That is a triggering situation for a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to read that. So it's relegated to dark romance. In this one, there is significantly darker themes. There is a sexual assault scene in this book as well. There's also domestic violence in this book. There's murder in this book. There's a lot. Okay, there's a lot. There's body dysmorphia. There's anxiety, drug overdose. There's a lot of triggering scenarios in this book. If you are interested in getting into this series, please read the trigger warnings. There is a content warning on the second page. Literally, the page directly after the title page is the content warning. And that was very important for me to put there, because even though I upped the risk of Amazon pulling the book because it's so prominently displayed, it was important. And so it's literally the second page. And it will tell you the full list of triggers that can be found inside the book. And please read it. Proceed with caution. If you are unsure about whether these types of scenarios will trigger you, don't read it. If you're not worried about the triggers, by all means, I hope you like it. Now, I will read you guys the blurb and then we can break it down a little bit. So the blurb, as well as the book, is broken down into 2 POVs, one from each main character. So the first part of the blurb is from Deacon's point of view, and it says, there's like a tagline under each name. So Deacon's tagline is revenge schemes and computer screens. And it says, for as long as I can remember, I've wanted 2 things: to watch my father's world crumble around him, and the Oppenheimer blue, the world's largest blue diamond. I'm a man of many faces, each one a mask. I've worn them for so long that I'm not even sure what the real me looks like anymore. To my clients, I'm the best fence on the East Coast. To my targets, I'm a faceless hacker behind a computer screen. To my friends, I'm a practical joker with a sarcastic sense of humor. In actuality, I'm all and none of these things. I'm the bastard son of a crooked senator, and I'm about to show my true face, the face of retribution. Deacon's very feisty. Siren. A life twice taken and souls forsaken. That's her tagline. I've always been the life of the party. As a concert violinist, wherever I go, music and fun follow, but so do demons. My first love seemed like a fairy tale, but turned out to be a nightmare. Tortured and tormented for years, I barely made it out alive. He didn't, or so I thought. Now he's back to claim the one possession that he feels was stolen from him, me. But I'm not the same naive girl I was before. My song isn't quite finished yet, and I'm about to play one hell of a crescendo. So that's the blurb. Now, if you read the first book, you will have probably read the sneak peek prologue that was at the end. That is the prologue for this book. It did get a little bit of revamping before this edition, like this book actually came out. So you might notice a word here and there that got changed, but for the most part, it stayed the same. So you will come into this book knowing what's going on with Siren. Not the full extent of it, but knowing that she has been taken by someone, that she's woken up in a place that's not her own bed. And that is because she has been kidnapped, which I think is pretty obvious. Now, this book follows Deacon and Siren on not just their individual journeys together, not just their individual journeys, but it kind of clashes them together in a situation that neither of them expected, neither of them really want in the beginning, but that they're kind of stuck with each other and they have to make the best of it. And over the course of that period of time, they fall in love. Just in time to avoid imminent danger. So I don't want to give away too much, but the book opens with Siren having been kidnapped. Lo and behold, it's her ex-boyfriend, Dante, who I want to say was about 15 years older than her. They met when she was 16. She was playing a concert at the Charleston Symphony, And he was in the audience, and he saw her perform, and he was enamored with her and became very quickly obsessed in an unhealthy way and decided that he was going to woo her. He's Italian. He's got delusions of grandeur. He has always had money. He's also a very, very mean, nasty guy. Like, he's a criminal, essentially. And not only is he a criminal, I don't mean like any kind of criminal. I don't mean like a petty criminal. He's not a car thief. He's not what, no. He facilitates favors for the criminally wealthy. So if you need a hit put out on someone, he's your guy. He will do pretty much anything dastardly for a price. Now, if you took the hints in the first book as to Siren's past, then you will know that 3 years back from present day, she escaped Dante for the first time. In doing so, she thought that she had killed him. She was living with the fear and the anxiety and the trauma that came with being in an abusive relationship for 6 years, and that she thought she had escaped by committing a murder, essentially. And she's lived with that ever since. It still haunts her, but she's now gotten to the point 3 years later where she thinks that she's finally built something resembling a life out of the ashes of what used to be herself. Now she's been taken. Realizes that Dante is still alive, and the process starts all over again. In the meantime, Merrick and Amelia, who were the main characters in book 1, have returned to notify Deacon that Siren is missing. Deacon, in book 1, Deacon came across as very jokey, very carefree, very sarcastic, which are a lot of his personality traits, but most people, and what was not alluded to very much in the first book, was how intense he could be. And that comes through hella strong in this book. Deacon has a very traumatic past also. He was raised by a mother who was addicted to opioids, a single mother who was addicted to opioids. At the age of 15, she died of a drug overdose, and he's the one that found her. And having grown up and seen the way she tried to raise him while living most of that life in her own head was very hard on him. After she died, instead of naturally being placed with his father, he went into foster care. His father wanted nothing to do with him. From the get-go, his father disavowed. That's not my son. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want anything to do with that child. That's not my kid, right? He essentially set out to seduce Deacon's mother. And she was also underage. She was 16, 17. And he told her everything she wanted to hear. He sold her the pretty picture. We're gonna get married. I'm gonna give you this cheap ring. It's gonna be a placeholder until I can come into an inheritance and get you a good one. We're gonna have the perfect life together. We're gonna get married, blah, 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 right? Okay. The minute she found out she was pregnant, he dipped. He grew up to be a United States Senator. And he was already engaged at that time to another woman. And now he's married, 2 kids. around the same age as Deacon. And since that time, Deacon has been bent on revenge against his father for being the source of all of the problems in his life. So there are a good number of like parallel storylines that are running throughout this book. There is rescuing Siren from Dante, getting rid of Dante, getting revenge on Deacon's dad. Then you also have returning and new side characters that are introduced. So in book 1, you met Alexi, the FBI agent. He does return in this book, and he plays a much more prominent role in this book because book 3 will be his. There are also new side characters, including a French Creole doctor and an ex-thief turned curator of Egyptian descent, who I really love. I low-key fashioned her after Rachel Weisz's character in The Mummy, but she's also going to be a reformed thief who is trying to go legit, but not quite succeeding. Because let's be honest, if they did everything by the law and what they were supposed to do, it wouldn't be any fun, right? Okay, thank you. So, the story, this one, follows Deacon and Siren on both of their healing journeys, as well as healing each other. Like, they are forced into a situation where he takes her into hiding, and she's stuck in a house, in a little cabin, in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere, Savannah. This book is set in Savannah, Georgia, for the most part. There are little snippets here and there of other places, but for the most part, it is set in Savannah, Georgia. And that is Deacon's hometown. She's stuck in his little house in the middle of the swampy woods for an undetermined amount of time. And he's keeping her there to protect her because they don't know if Dante is still alive. While they're stuck there, they are forced to get to know each other. They're forced to tolerate each other. And eventually, they're forced to fall for each other. And I did that. That was all me. I forced them to fall in love with each other. Against their will. Sorry, not sorry. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit, okay? So, this book has elements of forced proximity. It has elements of enemies to lovers. It is very much enemies to lovers. They're very snipey with each other. They're very sarcastic with each other. There's a lot of banter. In particular, I really enjoyed writing the scenes where Deacon and Alexi have to interact, because if you remember anything from the first book, you will remember they weren't fans of each other. Especially Deacon wasn't a fan of Alexi's. He doesn't trust cops. He's a criminal. We should never trust the FBI. But Alexi makes himself very helpful in this book. You also get some glimpses into who he is as a person, and especially towards the end, what's going to happen to him. And I really enjoyed writing the scenes where they banter back and forth, because I was able to impart a lot of my own sarcastic humor into those, which I loved. So, instead of Grumpy Sunshine with Deacon and Siren, you get Grumpy Grumpy, because they're both kind of grumpy. But Siren is for me, the epitome of the badass female character. She goes through so much. I put her through hell in this book. And she comes out the other side, not just surviving, but literally kicking ass. And I loved that about her. She's such a strong character, strong without being overpowering, and very, I want to say feminist, because she can do anything without being man-hating. Because I don't know why, that grinds my gears. I don't like that. Like, you can be a strong female character without hating men. And she doesn't hate men. She just doesn't trust them. With good reason, obviously. But she's forced into a situation where she has to trust Deacon. And to a certain extent from the beginning she does, because he saves her. After she's kind of mostly saved herself. And I won't give away the end of the book, but we'll just say she continues that theme of saving herself. Straight on through. Why? Because she's a bad bitch and she can do whatever she wants. Siren is also my first that I've written. Well, obviously my first that I've written, because I've only written one other book, but she's the first. I knew I wanted to write a plus size female character, and she is very much that. She has a lot of body issues, not only because of her weight, which has always been a problem, but because of the physical scars that she has post Dante the first time. Then obviously post Dante the second time, because when he comes back and he takes her at the beginning of the book, like I said, that process starts all over again. So she has a lot of negative views about her body. And in the beginning of writing this book, I said I did not want to write, I told myself that I did not want to write this book as a He Falls First novel, because Merrick in book 1 very much was a he fell first. He was obsessed with her. He was obsessed with Amelia since he was 17, right? 17. And so I thought coming into this book, no, I'm not going to do that with Deacon. I want him to put up a fight. I want him to be different. I want to set him apart. And in literally every other way, he is. I did do that. I set him apart. But the more I got into this book, and the more it resonated with me, that in order to have Siren accept herself, it would have to be done because of the urging of someone that loved her. And not to say that she couldn't do it on her own, and that she couldn't find happiness within herself, but it helped. And it made the process easier if you truly believe that someone else loves you for who you are and not the way you look. And so, as much as I didn't want Deacon to fall first, he did fall first. And that wasn't my choice. That was his choice. He chose that, okay? But there is a crucial point where he comes to the realization that I want her, I'm falling for her. She sees herself as flawed and damaged and not worthy. And I see her as not perfect, but real. And that's more important. And internally for him, she is perfect. Everything about her is perfect. But the reality of the situation is that no one is perfect. And he's not perfect. He has a lot of flaws. But he doesn't want perfect. He wants real. And she is real. She's the realist, if we're being honest. So, as much as I didn't want him to fall first, and I wanted him to be completely different from Merrick and any of the other characters that I write. I didn't have a choice because she needed that push to see her own value. And as much as like people want to say like, no, you don't need a man to validate you, you don't need this and that, it doesn't hurt. If we're being honest, okay? It doesn't hurt. So anyway, so that is essentially what is going on with this book. This book came out on September 6th, so last Friday. And well, I don't know when this video will upload, but it came out, it released on September 6th. It is available in ebook, it is available in paperback, it is available in hardcover. If you would like, you can find it on Amazon. I will link it down below. I'm very excited as well that just like with book one, I partnered up with Serpent and Flame, which is a candle company, to create custom candle tins that coincide with this book, the same way that I had ones done for the first book. And I will show you guys, hopefully you'll be able to see. It has like a bluish. She took elements of the cover for this book, as well as when she did book one for the labels for these. So the backgrounds for these are little bits of each book cover. So this is the main book candle, which just has the title, The Fence and the Musician. And this is the interior. It is a wood wick candle. The scent for this one, oh my God, I'm obsessed. The scent for this one is hydrangea and sweetgrass. The first book candle was magnolia, and I think like strawberry peach champagne. So this one is hydrangea and sweetgrass. There is something floating in front of my camera. Then of course we have Siren's candle, which hopefully you'll be able to see has a little background of the violin. And this is what the interior looks like. And this candle is scented with chocolate and coffee because that's what Siren smells like. Oh God, I almost dropped it. And this is Deacon's candle, which is blue. And once you read the book, you'll understand why it's blue. And this one is, the scent is driftwood and sea air. And it also smells fucking fantastic. So these candles, as well as signed copies of the book, can be found in my Etsy shop, which I will link down below. You can also find it in my bio on Instagram. If you would like, you can follow me over there. I'm very active on Instagram. I'm inactive pretty much everywhere else. I'm sorry to say, but that's true. If you would like to keep up with me, if you would like to see more book reviews in the future when I get off my ass and read, then you can subscribe here. Subscribe. And hopefully I'll be putting out more videos. I really want to. I think the reason that this channel has been so quiet is because a lot of my focus was devoted towards writing. And during the process of writing, I haven't been able to read. I think I entered into like a slump that I just never came out of. Like a reading slump. But I didn't ever, I just, you know? Something inside of me is broken. But I have recently forced myself to get back into reading, and I'm hoping that it not only helps with like inspiration and ideas for my own work, but that it just, I get back into doing something that I really loved doing that I haven't really been able to do much of since I started this writing journey. So hopefully there will be more reviews to come. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I do have 2 that are ready and waiting in my trusty reading journal. because yes, I still use that because I can't remember shit for shit. So yeah. But I do have 2 that are ready to go, and I will record those soon and I will get them uploaded. And yeah, I think that's it. So if you're interested in purchasing this book, you can find it on Amazon. If you have a Kindle or an Amazon e-reader or whatever, any version of a Kindle, I guess, you can read it for free with Kindle Unlimited. So if you have KU, you can read this book for free. You can read the first one for free, and you will be able to read the next one for free whenever it may come. So yeah. I thank you guys so much for joining me for this episode, and I will see you in my next one. I love you so much. Bye. Hi. I've said that about 100 times already. I'm gonna cut out most of this. God, this shirt makes me look like a grandma, which is not really far off, but I don't need to prematurely age myself. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't even know. I feel like you're too far over. No. Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if I should bring you further down. I don't know. Anyway, okay. This is the follow-up to, no. Stop. Stop it. Why do I feel so nervous? I shouldn't feel nervous. I used to do this all the time. Why do I have anxiety? This is stupid. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? That was Charlotte blowing her nose. Yeah. Okay, so we are here to do. We're here to do. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna. Okay. Why are you even still on? You have no cartridge in you. Today we are here to discuss this book. This is The Fence and the Musician by me, and this is book 2 in the Thick as Thieves. Can you speak? Can you talk? I mean, like, coherently? No, probably not. Today to discuss this book. This is the God damn it. Okay. Stop. Stop it. You're fine. You can do this. You're fine. In today's video, we are here to talk about this book. This is The Fence and the Musician by me. And this is book 2 in the Thick as Thieves series. This is the follow-up book to the book I released last year, which is The Thief and the Painter. First and foremost, let's give the details of the book, right? At the age of 15, at the age of 15, she dried. No, that's not right. What did I forget? Did I forget anything? Probably. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember. What fucking time is it? I don't even know. Okay. I'm gonna go finger bang. Pew, 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 pew. Haven't done that in a really long time. Finger bang. Pew, 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 pew. I love you so much. And I will see you later. There will probably be a shit ton of bloopers. Or there already has been from where I flubbed up trying to speak the English language as if I haven't been doing it my whole life. Anyway, I love you, and I will see you later. Bye.